Fred, hello, Phil, Eskew, Trent, and Kyla. John Dills, hello. And Rex Hillary and Hank on top of the world as usual, huh? That's great.
It's Becky. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Julia and Leslie and Jim Sims.
And everybody's going to rush back in a second.
Becky, I'm jealous of your surroundings.
Hey, Becky.
Well, I just let him know in the breakout room. I came outside just to get a little sun, and I'm hearing thunder around me, so I may have to make a mad dash inside. We'll see how it goes.
Well, enjoy
now, I'm wearing the sunglasses and just calling it good.
Becky, where are you?
I'm actually in my backyard.
Where is it?
I work from home. And I live on the west side of Bloomington, over kind of close to the airport area, fairgrounds area. Yeah, I've lived here. I live across the street from my mom and across the street from my sister. So I grew up on this road and literally moved across the street.
Hey, and hi, Steve Engel, Joy Harder.
Joy.
Hello.
Guys.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Erin looks awful relaxed. Ashley looks a little tentative, but I think she's excited.
Okay, I'm gonna go to no picture because I'm gonna do my exercises now. But
all right.
I will be listening to Ashley. Woohoo! Erin. Woohoo! Okay. See you soon, I hope. Okay.
Good for you.
And Marilyn and Mike Baker.
I don't know how all you good people avoid not eating at this time of day, but I'm going to be eating.
My eating schedule is so off.
I just wolfed down I wolfed down what passed for lunch.
When you see my screen go blank with no picture, that means I'm probably eating.
Yeah. And I just ate during the breakout sessions, Leslie, so you're just fine.
I've been turning my screen off too, but I'm like, I used to eat with all of you every week, so.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to report. I'm happy to report that at the Toast meetings, which are at 5:30 and traditionally at Nick's, we still feel that it's very important to come with a beer, even though we're at home. So some things are hard to kill off.
Okay, Alan, are we all here? I didn't hear you.
Oh, yes, sorry, yes, we're all ready to go.
Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh, no, not I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive. I got all my life to live, and I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Hey.
That was special. That was special. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan and Gloria Gaynor. What a team. Welcome to Bloomington Rotary Club's changeover, our celebration for July 7th, 2020. I am your immediate past president, technically, Aaron Davis, and it's great to see everyone here, including our special guests. Today we're here to celebrate the past Rotary year and welcome in the new Rotary year with Ashley Sullivan as our club's president. And I'll start with a reflection. This is an interesting time. So yes, we will survive. Our club, our community, and our nation will survive. I'd like to begin by sharing some reflections over this past year. These 3 past months have been difficult on so many levels. Too many people we can't visit too many things we can't do, too many things that place us at some sort of risk that didn't exist last July when the 2019-2020 Rotary year was beginning. We're asking what it means to survive and when the word flourish will return to our conversations. But we have done more than just survive. Big questions and major issues that our society has silenced for generations are being examined. We know that we must choose between rejecting and denying things that make us uncomfortable, or examining and learning from them, even if those lessons are painful and disturbing, demanding change. But we will survive. Over the past year, my job has been to listen and learn from our club, our district, from Rotary International, and from our city, state, and nation. My job has been to find a sort of sweet spot in between the issues and aspects of life that may divide and threaten us. A spot where we can all meet and talk, where we can find our commonality and develop friendships. For me and us, that sweet spot has been Rotary. It is not a static Rotary preserved in a 1950s panorama, but a dynamic and changing Rotary where women and people of color, LGBTQ people, and those from religious and non-religious minorities are no longer at the margins, but are in leadership roles because we are no longer unable to see and accept their talents and their greatness. If there have been two silent themes running throughout my term, they have been peace building and racial justice. These are times of transformation in our society and our world. And this is not about politics, not about ideology or religion, not about our relative patriotism. It is about service above self. It is about justice, sisterhood, and brotherhood. It is about recognizing that humanity is a family and that Rotary has an important role in creating, building, and investing in our common kinship on our common planet. Thank you for your trust and support, everyone. Being president of this club has been an immense privilege, something that had become a top item on my own bucket list. I leave you with what can best be described as a kaleidoscope of various ideas, perspectives, values, and directions. And now we will be honored to see how Ashley Sullivan's vision will help move us forward yet again. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Congratulations.
So I'd like to acknowledge our greeters and other people who are making this meeting work. Jim Bright, Michael Shermas, Ashley Sullivan, produced by Alan Barker and Michael Shermas, roundabout reporter, Judy Schroeder. And thanks again, Alan, for the generous use of your Zoom account and your expertise. Let's have some introduction of guests. We do have some folks. Jim Bright, you want to start?
Yeah, thank you, Aaron, and thank you for that nice reflection. I'm pleased to welcome our district governor, newly installed district governor, Jessica Hain of Bloomington Sunrise. Big welcome for Jessica. Also, we have with us today our past district governor, Sue Wright of the Clarksville Rotary Club. Sue, welcome. We have also Connie Shakalis, better half of Gus Shakalis, with us again today. Welcome back, Connie. And also a special welcome to Elizabeth Thompson, whom many of you will remember on so many levels. I'll be eternally grateful to Elizabeth and Jean Emery for their stellar work on the 2016 district conference. So welcome back, Elizabeth. Also, I see on our screen somebody I haven't seen in a while, and that's Wendell St. John. Wendell, good to have you back with us today. So back to you, Aaron.
Okay, thank you. What other guests do we have?
Just spotted Marin McClellan, too, past president of the Rotary Club of IU Bloomington, joining us, I assume, from Ohio today. So, Marin, welcome.
And I'll add my special greetings to Sue Wright and Jessica Hain. Thank you so much for being here. And let's see, Michael Wade's here. Okay. So, greetings to everyone who has signed in, even if you don't have a picture and even if you don't have a microphone. We're very happy to have you here. And now, I have a real honor. I now have the honor to present our Service Above Self Award for I'm sorry, there's a little background.
2000.
Okay, let's start that over again. I now have the honor to present our Service Above Self Award for 2019 to 2020. Our recipient is Special Projects Coordinator for the City of Bloomington. He has been involved with countless activities and projects in our community, always working behind the scenes to make good things happen. Michael has a special passion for community accessibility and human empowerment. He has been involved with the United Way of Monroe County, whether by serving on various boards or as part of the Community Service Council since the early 90s. Michael Shermis has been active in various roles with many local professional organizations and other nonprofits, including Lotus and Bloomington Community Orchard and literally dozens more. In our club, Michael has been a member for the last 9 years. Last year, Michael was co-chair, and this year has been chair of our program committee, which coordinates our weekly programs all year round. He's also been a leader in our community services committee, including organizing the Race for Literacy and our past election equipment project. And with strategic planning and organizational development, board and program development and implementation. For the past 4 months, Michael has been instrumental in creating our celebrations of service, including co-producing our Zoom meetings and creating our recent club forum. While Michael has contributed incredibly to our club and our community, like all of us, he wishes he could do more. But Michael's baseline service above self, given his dedication to helping those who are doing good in this world, with his formidable vision, skills, and talents, still stands out. I am honored to present our 2019-2020 Service Above Self Award to Michael Shermis.
Yes.
Thank you all. I'm a bit overwhelmed, and like many who I've heard say this, who've gotten the award before, feel I'm not necessarily as deserving as everybody thinks I am, but I certainly appreciate the recognition and look forward to many years in the future of being able to help Rotary and my community in many different ways. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
And now, Mike Baker, do you have a presentation?
Yes, and hopefully I won't be lost for words like Michael was. That's rare. As you know, the Paul Harris Fellow recognition is the Rotary Foundation's way of expressing its appreciation for those who've made substantial contributions to Rotary International. The Paul Harris Fellow is named after the founder of Rotary, Paul Harris. Often a club may recognize a member for their community service activities, special service, and support of their club. Today, we have the honor and pleasure of recognizing our fellow Rotarian, Michael Shermis, as a Paul Harris Fellow +1. Michael has supported Rotary International, excelled at leading many service activities in our club, but he's also played a leadership role in our nonprofit community. Some may say it's his job, but those that know Michael know it's his heart that drives the work and enthusiasm he exhibits. Can you think of many other members that run up and jump to the podium when we used to have one, when announcing a service project or something happening in the community? Immediately, Michael brought enthusiasm to whatever that project was. So it does give me great pleasure today, Michael, I wish it was in person, but to present you with your Paul Harris Fellow +1 pin. And I hope that the club will join me in congratulating you and thanking you for your commitment to Rotary and our community. Please join me in recognizing Michael Shermis.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Michael. Thanks again, everyone. I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Thank you, Michael.
We were doing a standing ovation. You just couldn't tell.
Yeah. Gene, what do you know this guy a little bit? What do you think?
You know what? I've known Michael probably longer than any of you for the most part. And when I heard this was going to happen today, I'm actually missing a bank luncheon that was a pretty big deal because Michael's even a bigger deal. And then changing of the guard's a big deal. I'm so excited. You guys are all great. And it was a wonderful year. It was actually a great year, even with the circumstances. So congrats to everybody. But yep, love Michael. He knows that.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gene. And now, cue to Ellen Barker. I have some slides I want to show. This is my retrospective for the year. My year. And let's start with the next one. So leading up to and including my year as president of the Bloomington Rotary Club 2019 to 2020. You know, our vision, a diverse, engaged community of leaders whose fellowship and service have a significant positive impact locally and globally. I think we're doing that and we're going to keep at it. Okay. Next, you know, it sort of started with the district conference back in April, and you know, here on the left is Martha Foster. I know her pretty well, and Sue Wright at the district conference. Sue Wright has been an inspiration to me, and it's just been wonderful to get to know you, Sue, a little bit. I'm glad you're here. And then in the middle, you know, some of our, Rotary folks, Ashley, Jim Bright, and Martha and I. And then on the right, I was there. There weren't a lot of people left that year, I think, when Jim Bright was awarded the Orphe Bridges Award. And but that's a big deal in our district and our community, and very deserved by Jim Bright. And next, and again, Jim Bright was instrumental in most of the publicity that our club received. This is from the HT, and yeah, with Brian Hain, and we already forgot who Cheyenne Riker is since he moved to Florida, but well, I could have photoshopped in, Photoshop, that's a good one. Photoshopped in Melissa Stone. But the presidents of these clubs get together, you know, every month, and we cooperate on projects. And it's really been a wonderful aspect of our club, something that's enriched the community also with the variety of activities we've been engaged with. And here, wow, this is a little bit of time travel back to the past president's dinner at the country club, hosted by Lauren Snyder and attended by 17 past presidents of Bloomington Rotary Club, who were gracious in offering advice and inspiration to me as an incoming president. Then next, pets. I mean, a lot of you have heard about it. I don't know how many have attended. Ashley attended as a nominee, I think, and it's an incredible experience. I got to meet RI President Mark Maloney there. And then, it wasn't that far longer after that, I became club president. And here is Lauren Snyder giving me that pin. Lauren had done an incredible job, making Happy Dollars a regular feature, bringing us lunch buddies, the Myanmar Water System Project, and together we renamed the celebrations of service, rather than our little luncheon or a meeting. Also expanded membership options, the DACDB website, and record RILA attendance. And he initiated, under him, the club initiated the new badges that we took a long time to figure out, but they've been done and sitting there waiting for us at the IMU. So Lauren was a wonderful, a difficult act to follow because he's such a great leader. And here, right before becoming president, I had gone to Hamburg, Germany, for the RI convention and the pre-convention, which was a peace symposium. It was late May and early June, again with Martha. And it was spectacular and inspiring. And got to spend a little bit of time with Santana and a whole bunch of district Rotarians. You can see Jim Bright there in the background, I think, with an IU hat. Again, Rotarians, having fun, getting together and sharing fellowship at a beer hall in Hamburg. And then the Centennial Project that was done under Mike Baker was celebrated, the opening was celebrated at Boys and Girls Clubs at the Crestmont. And so that was another great highlight for my year as president, to be able to be there for that. And then some of the activities we were engaged at, some were fun, like going to having a performance night, a Rotary night at Bloomington Playwright Project, and then there were the service projects. Rotarians from our club helped assemble food distribution, again, for the Hoosier Hills Food Bank. And then we have a reflection from Ashley Sullivan, and upper right, a reflection from Marianne Macklin, giving information on the Janeway project, which will still happen. And lower right, Don Bird and William Ellis presenting on Better Angels, which is now called Braver Angels, about the need for political depolarization. A lot has happened on our platform. And here we have a youth services slide. Upper left, Joy Harder, Lauren Snyder, Jean Emery, and Rotaractor Megan Gearhart at RILA. Lower left, that's me with the co-presidents of the Interact Club at Bloomington High School South, Newan Antonau and Neil Alderson. And right, IU Rotaract leaders with Provost Lauren Robel. We have Megan Gearhart, Toby Hutter, Provost Robel, Maren McClellan, and Emma Stewart. Another highlight, so many highlights. Cheyenne Riker, Brian Hain, and Santana Naidu at Wonder Lab, our joint Bloomington Rotary Club's district governors meeting in August. That was also a family-friendly event. So we had hatched the plan for this at the PETS meeting in March. So the three of us got together, actually the four of us got together to say, let's do this together. And if you remember, it just worked out very well. Then another highlight was that a lot of you, may not know, that our club actually put an ad in the program book for the NAACP Monroe County branch's Freedom Fund banquet last year. And there was a representative of our bond, with the NAACP branch as one of our organizational members. Present were Jim Sims, myself, Martha Foster, I think Trent Deckard, and some others. But that connection is really vital to what my plan was for this this year, and I was really glad that we were able to develop that relationship, deepen it. And then Sarah Laughlin came up with a campaign to get some publicity for our polio eradication efforts. This appeared in the HT. So polio is always part of what we're doing. It's always one of the highlights. And then another Jim Bright's deeds was to help us put together a response to a sort of odd little assessment of service organizations in Bloomington by gathering the 3 presidents of the clubs and getting a guest column in the HT to talk about how Rotary in Bloomington is thriving, surviving and thriving. And service, of course. This is on the left, Martha and I at College Mall, ringing bells for Salvation Army. And then this is just me. Martha was there also at Wonder Lab at the station for toddlers and preschoolers that we helped to fund. And in our Christmas party, of course. It was a real blast. December 2019 at Bloomington Country Club, hosted by Natalie Blaze, Ashley Sullivan, and Marin McClellan was very active in helping out there, as was Megan. So hi, Santa. And the district assembly. So this is an extra kind of training thing that we had at the IMU. And we had a whole lot of people present from our club and elsewhere around the district. You can see a lot of familiar faces. And on the right, a photo from the induction ceremony for District Governor Santana Naidu, which was exactly a year ago, I understand, with his wife Amy and son Cameron. And then there's even more. Bloomington Rotary Club Board of Directors. This has been a remarkable experience, a really great group of people. Seated are Lauren Snyder, Trent Deckard, Kyla Cox Deckard, and standing from left, Joy Harder, Ashley Sullivan, Alan Barker, myself, Dave Meyer, Jim Sims, Marilyn Wood, Ron Barnes, and Michael Shermis as an advisor. Everybody performing incredibly well and working together through some very complicated issues. And then I wanted to note that our club is the first Rotary Club in Indiana to become a designated Peace Builder Club under the auspices of the Rotarian Action Group for Peace. So I'm particularly proud of that, and I'm hoping to get engaged much more with that in the coming year. We have a whole bunch of Rotarians who are interested and engaged, and including Charlotte. And I really plan to bring more focus to peace building. And lots of activities. It was a real great time to support the Bedford Rotary Club in their centennial, with conductor John Bush serving as president, and other Rotarians, including Martha, Judy Witt, Judy Bush, Santana, Naidu, Sarah Laughlin, and Liz Feidel were there for the celebration in Bedford. And then on the right, after the annual economic forum, it's with the Chamber of Commerce and the Kelly School at Alumni Hall, with our chair for the event, Kyla Cox-Deckard, and Executive Assistant Natalie Blaze. Actually, we'll see what happens this year, but definitely Kyla did a wonderful job restarting this and reintegrating Rotary more deeply into the event than in recent years. And then the Rotary 505s. This one was at Nick's. We had some at Viva Mas also. Very, very good way to get together and share fellowship. And then there were some presentations that were amazing, including Mike Baker's presentation on his Vietnam experience. That was February 11th, a long time ago in the Georgian Room. And thank you, Mike Baker, for sharing that. It's a lot of our history that we need to bring to mind to understand what's going on today and how we got to where we are. And Ivy Tech gave our club a Volunteer Service Award at its annual award ceremony last year. The other two Rotary clubs were included and were all presented in this photo. I don't know where the award is, though. Ashley, do you have it? We'll figure that out. And then just touching wonderful moments. You hear Jim Capshew with Charlotte Zitlow, and also inducting new member Wendell St. John with his sponsor, Tim Jessen. It was a great thing that we were able to expedite that membership, and yeah, it just made us all feel special for being able to do that and to welcome in Wendell, who's a great member. On the lower right, Paul Harris Fellow Award for Iris Kiesling with Liz Feidel and Mike Baker. And upper left, here we have the induction of Art and Roseanne Levy. And then lower left, the virtual induction is not a virtual induction when you have a real member of Rotary like Becky Jesma. And then right, Katie Beck doing a musical reflection with her husband, musician David Davila. A lot to reflect on, including reflections. Then more publicity for the Rotary Toast in November with Carrie Curry. A lot of money was raised for the community. And then Rotary Leadership Institute in February. Our club and Bloomington were well represented with Joy Harder, Jim Bright, Judy Witt, Sandy Keller, Roseanne Levy, Arthur Levy, and Rotaractors Maren McClellan and Megan Gearhart. And then the new members welcomed this year. Arthur Levy, Clint Baugh, Roseanne Levy, Wendell St. John, Becky Jesmer, and then lower row, Kevin Hopper, Newtstrom, Von Welch, Chris Michael Morrison, Heather Bozarth, and David Coop. By the way, Chris Michael Morrison's daughter is doing better, and he emailed me that she is going to be discharged on July 21st.
Oh, wonderful.
I've been conveying our good wishes and hopes for them, and she seems to be doing on the mend. She seems to be doing well. Then this is from the all options drop off for It Takes a Village. So instead, because we couldn't have an actual gathering, physical gathering for the It Takes a Village event, we just donated a whole lot of goods, $5,000 worth, to all options to distribute to families in need. And Rotarians from all 3 Rotary clubs were there, including Jessica Hain, Jody Hoagland, and her son Caleb Hoagland, and Melissa Stone, Marilyn Wood, and Brian Hain. So we get things done. And then our Rotary cafes, online and in Zoom, that's been really interesting. So our response to COVID-19 has tried to meet some of the need for virtual social gatherings. We're hopefully going to have some in-person gatherings in the not too distant future. They may be informal, but doing what we can and not just giving up, I think has been really vital to this process. It's not perfect, but it's been enjoyable. I've really enjoyed the time to get together socially with people in our club. And our April board meeting, of course, on Zoom. We had incredible attendance and participation this year. I'm very grateful for that. And then seen at our Zoom meetings, Paul Harris, fellow honoree Karen Jepson Innes from Wonder Lab, and District Governor Santana Naidu, Shia Smart, District Governor visiting from Australia, and Rotary International Director Floyd Lancia. So we had some interesting people drop in and contribute to our meetings. And of course, Charlotte Zitlow. You're a treasure, and we're so glad to have you in this club.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want to acknowledge our wizards of Zoom, Alan Barker and Michael Shermis, who've really been essential in having this all come off and in a friendly and relaxed way. I'm so grateful. Club assistant, Natalie Blaze, without whom not much could have gotten done. Thank you, Natalie. And I'm looking forward to gathering together again at the Frangipani Room someday. Okay. And our scholarships, Matt Stitzinger's scholarship committee did an excellent job selecting some wonderful recipients. And then talk about how things become possible. My partner and inspiration, I couldn't have done this without Martha. Thank you, Martha. And I have to note the return of Raj Hadawi, such a gift to our club before, and even more of a gift now, I think, at least in my heart. He really brings a shift of momentum and the strength of generosity and altruism that's really felt very widely by the club. So thank you, Raj. And then our club was recognized with the 2019-2020 District Governor's Citation. Well done, Bloomington Rotary Club. We've done a lot. And, just to remember, Judy Schroeder is just such a gift. Our esteemed editor-in-chief, a pleasure to work with. And to our delight, Judy will be continuing on with us.
Great.
Thank you, Judy. And we had another past presidents gathering on June 17th for Ashley Sullivan. And we had 15 past presidents there. And again, it was just a great event. People really concerned about supporting and making sure that the new president knows that they're not alone. There's a lot of support, and that, you could see Phil Meyer was there. He came, had a great turnout. Keith Klein, Lance Everly, Yolanda Trevino. It was a good event. So we tried to give Ashley the kind of send off or as close to it as we could. And then the final board meeting of the year, June 18th, again, some nice photos of some of the people. Of course, Jim Bright was hiding in the shadows there, but it was a great meeting and very productive in terms of our board resolution next, which built on the 18R31 resolution that our club originated way back with Sarah Laughlin and Mike Baker, and I'm sure Leslie played a role in that, and where we issued a resolution all the way up to the Rotary, Rotary board to increase membership, not just membership, but leadership in the zones, districts, and clubs for women and people of different minorities and youth also. So here we built on that to try to make a little bit of a laser mark toward eradicating systemic racism, rather than the general sense of trying to just bring in more people into leadership, which is vital. But we also have this idea of Rotary being one of the forces for eradicating systemic racism. And then also, because we're trying to do some things about it, we created our club's first budget line item for increasing the diversity and inclusiveness of our club. And that was spurred by a donation by Dr. Raj Hadawi. People of action. And not to forget, it wasn't that long ago, that Alan Barker received the Presidential Award for doing such an incredible job in many ways. And Michael Shermis today receiving the Service Above Self Award. And our officers, here they are. I know there was a long show, but it's I'd like to continue to be involved with issues next year, and we have a great slate of officers and a great board coming up.
Ashley.
Yeah, well, that's enough for that now.
Congratulations, Aaron. What an absolutely incredible year. Really,
Congratulations, Bloomington Rotary Club.
Yeah.
Good job, Aaron.
Yes. Come back.
Great work under difficult circumstances, Aaron.
Yes.
With so much support, it's been amazing.
Congratulations.
And there are just so many people that I want to thank. Kyla Cox Deckard is one. I mean, definitely a rising Rotary star. Kyla has done an outstanding job as treasurer, responding to serious challenges during her first year as an officer with skill, compassion, and professionalism. Mike Baker and the Bloomington Rotary Foundation for helping our club meet our scholarship goals in spite of COVID-19. Feel like I've made so many friends in this club now. I will not be able to mention everyone, although I'd like to try. I don't know, we don't really have time to try now. I've got to mention our membership co-chairs, Trent Deckard and Dave Meyer, but I've gotten the signal that it's time to move on.
Pass the torch.
So, at this point, I am truly honored to introduce Ashley Sullivan as our club's president for 2020 to 2021. Ashley, who holds an MBA in applied management, works in resource development for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington. She's a Paul Harris Fellow and has been secretary of our club even before her year as president-elect. Ashley has served our district and our club with distinction and has been district speech contest chair for District 6580. Typically, the club's president-elect attends the Rotary International Convention just prior to becoming president. This year, the convention in Hawaii was canceled, but we were expecting Ashley to attend the 2021 convention in Taipei, along with President-elect Sally Gaskell. As a token of the club's commitment to Ashley's next trip next year, Martha and I are presenting a Chinese tea set and some Chinese tea to Ashley to help her brush up on her tea ceremony. As president-elect, Ashley fully participated in our board of directors and all of the debates and decisions that have brought our club to where we are today. I'm excited to turn over the leadership of this club to Ashley. My only question now is, Ashley Sullivan, you have been duly elected to serve the Bloomington Rotary Club as president, and you have had an exemplary year as president-elect. Do you now, in front of our club, accept this position? Please respond, both in words and by putting on your Rotary President's pin.
I enthusiastically accept the position of president for the Bloomington Rotary Club for 2020-2021. Here's my pin. You can't quite see it. Putting it on, and I will wear it proudly.
Thank you, Ashley. And
thank you.
I'm a little late, but the floor is yours.
That's fine. We can knock this out quick. So before anything else, I would like to introduce our president-elect, Sally Gaskell. I assume you have your pin. So Sally, do you accept the position for president-elect for 2020-21?
Yes, I do.
Yay! That's my favorite part today because I'm so pleased to be serving alongside of you and to be working with you and the rest of our incredible officers. The slate is great. I'm looking forward to a wonderful year. Thank you, Sally.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
And before I move on to any formal remarks, I want to recognize Aaron for his leadership in the unforgettable year that has been 2019-2020. Before the pandemic hit, we already were having a banner year, and it was going really well, going really smoothly, having a lot of fun. And then the unthinkable. And I cannot think of a member and a leader who would have handled it with such grace and with such determination to make sure we stay connected, with the determination to make sure our club functioned in the same way or better than it was before. And I know I'm speaking on behalf of the rest of our group in saying that we are so proud to serve alongside of you and for your leadership. And I certainly hope that that does not end with today. You're a big part of our club, and you will be for many, many years to come. So I also wanted to say that you brought us some real distinctions. You brought the distinction of making us a peace building club. It's a dream of myself and many others that we would pursue that, and you brought it to fruition. You've championed greater diversity, flexibility in our membership and our responses to the world around us. You've sought the truth. You've kept a close watch on fairness and the benefit of our actions. You've endeavored to build goodwill and much, much better friendships. You've been an example by living the four-way test that we recite, not just as out of tradition, but out of the real commitment to the ethics and the principles that guide our club. So thank you. The plaque that we are presenting you with today was selected to commemorate your year, and I thought it was very fitting for you. It says, "Teach this triple truth to all, a generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity. Buddha. I cannot imagine someone who embodies that more, Aaron, and I hope that you display that with pride and knowing that your fellow Rotarians are so proud to have served alongside of you and so thankful for your service this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, and everyone. This is a touching, very wonderful gift. Thank you.
Wish we could do more, but you know that you're in our hearts. Okay, so I have a few minutes here. I wanted to open up some time for questions. We won't have that, but we have lots of weeks ahead of us where you can, and anytime, I'll put this out there, anytime, if you want to send me an email, pick up the phone, text, call, get a hold of me. I'm here. I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to connect with you in social ways and in the business of Rotary. So I'm here. You have my contact information, and please utilize it. So the theme this year, you can see behind me, is Rotary opens opportunities. And I can't think of a more appropriate theme for my personal experience with Rotary, for what I've observed over the last 5 years, and for the year ahead. It's very fitting on many levels. I'm going to be transparent with you. There have been many moments of hesitation in accepting this role for me, a lot of fears of not having enough experience, not being enough for the role, a fear of wanting to accomplish too much or accomplishing too little, being too idealistic, and any of the other things that can fit into that frame, inheriting a lot, and it can be overwhelming. But I'm facing it now with a different perspective. As we face fears, I want to share a personal value that is actually on my body. I have a tattoo right here. That is a line from Bruce Springsteen from the song Badlands. And it says, "For the ones who had a notion deep inside that it ain't no sin to be glad you're alive." And to me, that means, it's more than just a catchy rhyming stanza from the Boss, who's my personal favorite musician. It's about being able to hold joy and sorrow simultaneously. And I feel that I would be remiss to move forward with this deep joy that I feel inheriting this position without reflecting on the sorrows that we're facing as a society and the troubling things that do exist that we need to address, and we have been addressing, and that will continue. I believe that we can endure both deep joy and deep sorrow. They're not mutually exclusive. And so there's no group that I'd rather share that range of emotions with than all of you. You, every week with Happy Dollars and with your personal connection, you have shared your deep joys, the birth of children, marriages, new business opportunities, and so many things. And you've shared deep sorrows. We share deep sorrows in systemic racism that are facing our society, and challenges facing people in the disability community and LGBTQ brothers and sisters. There's so many more things I can mention. I definitely don't have time here, especially even for all the things that I wanted to mention, but we can endure both together. And that's my hope moving forward into the new year. I wanted to open up for some Happy Dollars because that's one of the very best things that we do. I think we're going to have to skip that today just because I have a few more remarks to make before we close the meeting. But next meeting, we'll have extra time for some Happy Dollars. But we do have a new development with Happy Dollars. You can give through PayPal now. So next week, we'll have a link that'll pop up in the chat, and you can send your Happy Dollars that way. So we can stop socking them away and start going to Teachers Warehouse right away. So look for that next week. I wanted to share something from Rotary International President Holger Knock. He explained his theme of Rotary opening opportunities this way. Rotary is not just a club that you join. It's an invitation to endless opportunities. We believe in crafting opportunities for others and ourselves, and we believe that our acts of service, large and small, generate opportunities for people who need our help, and that Rotary opens opportunities for us to have richer, more meaningful lives and with friends around the world based on our core values. It's fantastic. That's exactly where I want to go. I can't think of a better way to state it. Service is what we do. We are all about service above ourselves. And so opening these opportunities in this year is what I want to focus on. I have a lot of things here in my speech about our objectives and our areas of focus. I'm not going to do that today. You've all heard those things. But I want to get to just a brief touch on what some of my major goals are. I want to have the club be a resource. So I want us to be a resource for service opportunities, for potential members to see what is possible, and for resources for us here in this club, that we have lots of different choices of service opportunities to choose from that fit what we want to do and what we can do. I want to increase the retention engagement of our members by developing richer mentoring connections and increasing the equity for each member in our club. We have a lot of people who do a lot of heavy lifting, and I want to help spread that around a little bit. Everybody has something really valuable to offer, and I think that we can all mentor each other in unique ways. So I want to try to amp that up. I want to continue the great work of peace building. We are in the Rotary Action Group for Peace as a peace building club, as Aaron mentioned. We have to continue that. We have to continue focusing on that and making it a priority in our club. I want to continue the essential work of increasing the inclusive and diverse makeup of the club. This was started by a fund from Dr. Hadawi. Thank you so much. And it will only continue. Members have already given towards this fund, and I want to see that grow. And I want to see the diversity of our club grow, of people of color, women, people of all ages. We need to grow that diversity. It's just crucial at this time. I want to make every Rotarian every year a reality for our club. We all need to be contributing, and we all need to be more aware of what we do as a Rotary Foundation at an international level, and make sure that every member is a part of that. There's so much more we can do together than apart. And Rotary International just announced that the environment is our new area of focus. This is so crucial, but let us not forget the fight against polio. So we're so close, and as we close that gap, we can start to focus on these other areas that are just as important and need our focus. But we really need to try to close that gap with polio. We can do more. We're exploring some new ways to offer service opportunities, as I mentioned, and stay tuned. So I'm not going to detail all of those right now, but we are exploring working with Helping Hands through Civic Champs. And of course, continuing to work with Teachers Warehouse and some shared opportunities with the Sunrise and North clubs. It's really important that we continue to work together. And we'll of course address some housekeeping items, reviewing and updating our very outdated bylaws, looking at updating our strategic plan. I know it's a new reality we're in, so that might look a little different than it did going into my planning. And exploring membership alternatives. This is an ever-changing reality, and we need to keep the pace. So, of course, I would love to post record increases in membership, plant 1,000 trees, take on all the district grant opportunities, give funds to every community organization that relates to our focus, and that would be every single one. I'd love to promise grand projects on an international scale and laser focus on undertakings in every area, but it can't be done. We instead are focusing on moving forward, continuing the great work that has already been accomplished, listening to the concerns of our membership, and engaging in tangible ways that we can do and do really, really well. Our vision is to be a diverse, engaged community of leaders whose fellowship and service have a significant positive impact locally and globally, and we're going to do just that. I have much more to say, but as I reflect on the year of opening opportunities, I just want to remind you how rich our club really is, and this is my final thought. Where else can you engage with the history of the fountain pen, the needs of those experiencing homelessness, electroceutical interventions in medicine, developments in Indiana University's strategic plans, the state of Indiana's road construction, open dialogue about racism and social inequalities, quick resolutions to hold leaders accountable, nonpartisan peace building, difficult necessary conversations, beautiful music of the harp, the thrills of our sport team victories, development of arts organizations, creating access to aspiring filmmakers, and that's just like 10 programs. Where else can you hear all of that? I, as a Rotarian, have my finger on the pulse of what's happening in our community and our world. And my friends are annoyed because every conversation I have ends up with me saying, oh yeah, we had a program about that in the Rotary Club. Last Tuesday, we talked about that. This is the place where you can learn about things you just don't have access to anywhere else. And I am so grateful for that. I hope that you will join me in remembering the richness of our club, the deepness of our connections, the genuine spirit of everyone involved, and the joy of our friendship. So, as Holger Knox said, now is the time to put everything on the table, test new approaches, and prepare Rotary for the future.
Bravo.
Wow, nice speech.
Excellent.
I went over my time. So now, can we say the four-way test together, but really think about each part of this four-way test, okay?
Yes.
So let's start. Of the things
Things we think, say,
or do.
Do.
First,
Is it the truth?
The truth.
second,
Second, is it fair?
fair to all
Concerned.
third,
concerned,
Will it build
goodwill,
better friendships?
fourth,
Fourth, be beneficial, concerned.
concerned.
and
Fifth,
Is it fun?
Ashley.
I don't have a bell to ring. So,
Ding.
ding. Thank you everyone for being here and for being my friend and for embarking towards the future.
See you next
Yay! Congratulations! Congratulations!
Congratulations,
Yeah, really great.
Ashley.
Yeah,
Ashley!
you're great. You're amazing.
I just keep getting goosebumps. Ah! A fun year.
We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Ashley, you have a big shoe to fill left by Aaron.
Oh, I do.
I am a friend of Aaron. Without Aaron advice, supported by Jim Bright, I will never know where are you staying on Zoom. This is new. So for those two folks, I give them a credit of reaching out, and I got so excited, couldn't wait to rejoin. That said, the gentleman who is leaving done a magnificent job, and I appreciate all what he does, and we heard summary of that. And your representation to yourself as our leader, second to none. I am wholeheartedly committed to support you. And in honor of your support, I'm going to pay $250 to the Diversity Fund. It will go in the mail this afternoon.
Thank
you. Wow.
Thank you
Raj.
very much.
Wow. Okay. So is Natalie still on? Natalie Blaze?
Yeah, she's there.
So is she going to let us know how much we owe in happy dollars?
Weren't you keeping track?
I think it's about $100, Jean.
Well, it probably is, and that's okay. I just need to know.
Just round up.
Round up. However much you think.
Just try it out. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm gonna pay my debt. I will.
All right. We will.
Just a quick announcement. So you know the Rotary hat where we choose an organization that we give our speaking dollars to. We're going to continue that, but the first quarter is going to Teachers Warehouse. Since we haven't had Happy Dollars in person, And we've been missing out on that. We're going to dedicate that first portion to Teachers Warehouse, and then we'll go from there. And that was Aaron's idea. So kudos, Aaron. Great idea. We got to keep Teachers Warehouse going.
Great.
That's great. That's great.
Yep.
So Ashley, I'm going to stop the recording now. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you, everybody.
Bye all.